Welcome to Larry's Health Hacks, your go to source for unlocking the secrets to a healthier mind, body, and spirit. Let's activate your potential today. Hey, and welcome back to Larry's Health Hacks. So, today we're talking about anger, something that we have all experienced, have been on the receiving end, but I'm sure have also given out our fair share of it. And I know I'm at the top of that list of giving it out. So we're going to be talking about the physiological effects of anger. So it starts off with puts us in the fight or flight mode, and that just raises all kinds of issues within our body: increased heart rate and blood pressure, release of stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. Muscle tension. Your jaw gets tight, your shoulders get back up in there, you clench your fists. Rapid breathing, flushed face, and sweating. So the physiological and emotional effects: frustration and irritability. Well, that's kind of obvious. But hostility and resentment, again, a little obvious. Feeling overwhelmed or out of control. There's been a few times in some of my most angriest moments I have definitely felt out of control. Guilt and shame, again, another big one for me. Seeing red or narrow focused. Behavior. How do we express our anger? So I've known folks that, I'm not kidding you, I don't know that I've ever seen them angry. It's phenomenal to me that they just am able to stay calm in every situation I've ever seen them in. It just baffles me how they're able to do it, but so impressed with it. But do you have outward aggression where, you're verbal, you're loud and shouting? That was me all the way. Golly, I was a king of hollering, man. Made a lot of people uncomfortable with that. Physical, slamming your fist on the table, hitting something, punching a hole in the wall, threatening people, that sort of stuff. Inward aggression. Do you suppress those angry feelings? Do you keep calm? Do you do self-blame, self-harm, or denying your feelings? Do you have any physical ailments that come with it? Passive aggressive, another thing that I would practice for weeks on end. Just ask my wife, she'll tell you. Do you do a silent treatment, sulking, or indirect sabotage? Assertiveness. Now, this can be healthy sometimes, so are you acknowledging? Do you have calm communications? Do you set boundaries and seek resolutions? My wife, Jill, she worked for years to find resolutions to our arguments, and I just wasn't having any of it. If I felt that I had been wronged, you were going to be punished. That's just the silly mindset that I have. Or do you do avoidance and dropping it? Disengaging can be very healthy. So that's something that we can do if the time is not good to have this kind of a serious discussion. Even if it starts out as an argument and you've kind of slowed it down a little bit, brought the temperature down in the room, and but you might get to a point where you feel like, I'm just not ready to continue talking about this. And it's okay to disengage and say, hey, look, let's come back to this in an hour, in a day, whatever. I love you. I want to resolve this, but just right now I need to kind of calm down and focus on myself a little bit. And so I've learned, a bunch of different tools over the years. I've been fortunate enough to find some therapists that I can really connect with. And that, I'm telling you folks, is such a key, is to find one that will speak to you in a way that you can hear it. Because a lot of therapists, all of them will talk, of course, but are they going to say something that's going to resonate with me or with you? And that is key. And so I would encourage you to find one that really will speak to what your needs are. And again, I was fortunate enough to find one recently here in Tucson, Arizona, where we live, Dr. Tim Frank. He is an extraordinary healer. And because he's not even a therapist, he's a doctor and a healer, and he's versed in many, many, many different traditional and what we would consider non-traditional methods of healing. And man, was it a blessing finding him. And one of the things he does, which I would recommend to anybody that's dealing with anger issues, PTSD, any of those type of things that are a struggle mentally, I mean, because that's really what it is. It's a struggle with what's going on in your brain. And he specializes in ketamine assisted therapy. And I'm here to tell you, absolute godsend once I got started on that. Really look it up. It is just a phenomenal tool to utilize for those of us that lived a tremendously angry life. And I used to have a fair amount of guilt over the amount of anger that I've expressed over the years. But again, with the help of Dr. Frank, I was able to reanalyze those motives, those reasons for becoming so angry, and don't look at it anymore as a source of shame or guilt. Tremendous learning tool. So I've been fortunate in that respect. But again, what are you going to do when you get angry? So I one time, and I kid you not, I one time got so mad that I was moments away from killing somebody. I mean, plain and simple. And that's a story for another day, but just know that I am telling the truth when I was moments away from ending somebody's life. And there was a small, tiny little voice that sounded like it was a million miles away that just said, "Don't do it. You'll go to prison forever." And I'm telling you, I barely heard that voice in my head. Barely. And thank God I did, because it stopped me in that moment. But that made me realize that the path I was on was not going to lead me to anywhere successful. And that's the bigger point of anger. It's never going to lead you to success. It's never going to lead you to a beautiful, satisfying, loving relationship. It's only going to lead you to heartache and misery and destruction. And I've lost a lot. I've destroyed a lot with my anger over the last 50 plus years. I'll be 65 in August, and I'm telling you, I've lost so much because of my anger. It almost always felt good, and certainly felt great in the moment. Oh my gosh, did it feel so powerful in the moment. But that's not where you want to live. I feel so much better now being able to recognize when those triggers pop up, when those words get spoken to me or those actions are taken. I now can recognize that 99% of the time, those aren't actions against me. It's other people's stuff that I allow to get into my head, and I'll be like, "Oh hell no, you are not treating me like that. You're not talking to me like that. I will not put up with it, and let me show you how much you're going to pay for doing that." That's just not going to help anybody. And we're here to help each other. And that's the point of this channel is, health hacks. How are we going to lead a healthier life? And it's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, all of those things. So if you're struggling with anger, and if you have a need to reach out to a therapist, or you have some questions for me that you'd like to have me answer in a little more depth, offline, one-on-one, I'll be happy to share more of my story with you because, I don't know, it is a pretty interesting story. And as this channel evolves, I'm sure I'll end up telling just about all of it. But I want you all to be healthy. I want you to make good choices. And I know we as men, we are hardwired to be protectors, to be defensive, to be aggressive. And that sometimes leads us to some really harmful behaviors. So if you have some questions, please feel free to, reach out to me in a direct message, and I would love to answer it. And if you feel this video is helpful, share it with your friends. But like this channel, share it, subscribe to it, and I certainly appreciate your participation. Thanks so much. We'll talk again soon.